Hey, so you're thinking about moving to Seattle, Washington, maybe even a suburb around it like Redmond? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the pros and the cons of living in Redmond, Washington, a suburb of Seattle. So if that sounds of interest to you, then let's get right to it. Hi, Kelsey Anderson here, a local realtor that loves to help people relocate and educate them about the areas around Seattle, particularly to the east and south side. So we can chat or set up a Zoom call, whether you're looking to move in 7 days or 7 months. Get in touch with me using the information in the description below. So Redmond is a town just east of Seattle, Washington with 72,000 people and is just northeast of Bellevue, Washington and to the east of gorgeous beach town Kirkland. It sits right north of beautiful Lake Sammamish and is only about 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Seattle. Without traffic, of course. With bad rush hour traffic, it can take a little bit longer as 520 can get pretty backed up along the bridge. The median home price in Redmond is $1,186,000, so slightly smaller and cheaper than living in Bellevue, Washington on average. All right, let's jump right into it. The first pro of living in Redmond, Washington is the job opportunities. It's home to the Microsoft headquarters, which offers a wide array of jobs with competitive salaries in software development, engineering, marketing, sales, and much more. So also there's Nintendo of America, SpaceX, and Honeywell also providing jobs for professionals in gaming, aerospace, and manufacturing. It also has a myriad of tech startups, and it's close to Seattle with Amazon, Expedia, and tons of other major companies that you could work for. You'll need a high-paying job to be able to afford a single-family home in Redmond, Washington, so it's a good thing there's a lot of jobs right there in town. The second pro of living in Redmond is the education. So Redmond is a part of the Lake Washington School District, which has 31,169 students, and 80% of those are passing in reading, while 72% are passing in math. 94% of kids are able to graduate high school in just 4 years. This district is highly regarded for its academic programs and student achievements. Kids can go to Redmond High School, which is located right in the city boundaries, or Tesla STEM High School, which focuses on science, tech, engineering, and math education. There are also private schools like the Bear Creek School and the Overlake School if public schooling isn't your jam. But in this amazing school district, why not go to a free school? Am I right? It also has super strong community involvement, and there are lots of volunteers that work to empower the kids and support them in their education endeavors. So tons of support right in the city makes it pretty cool. Lastly, it's got access to great resources because of this affluent community. So that's always going to help students be their best selves as well. The third pro of living in Redmond, Washington is the outdoor recreation. Whether you want to go to the mountains or jump into the lake, this is the place for all of your outdoor dreams. Just about 30 minutes east, you hit the Snoqualmie Mountains, and if you go a bit further, you're going to hit Stevens Pass, or you can head out to Crystal as well to enjoy hiking, skiing, snowboarding, even floating the Snoqualmie River is a really good time in the summer. You've got the Sammamish River Trail, which is also a super fun trail. You got a river right going alongside it. You can bike, rollerblade, or run along it. It's perfect for fitness lovers. It even has a couple of bars you can find as you head towards Bothell. The Sammamish River Trail turns into the Burt Gilman Trail, which will take you right into Seattle, starting at Mary Moore Park in Redmond. You also have Lake Sammamish, which is a huge 7-mile lake just to the south, bordering its southern beaches. Mary Moore Park is a huge outdoor park, the largest in the city, with a sports field, a climbing wall, a huge, amazing dog park, and even a velodrome where you can race and train if you are an avid biker. There's also other parks like Idlewood Park, which is a beach park that I grew up going to right on the shores of Lake Sammamish, and Grasslawn Park, which is located on the western part of Redmond, which has sports fields as well as an incredible park for the kids. And that's really just the beginning. There are also some incredible golf courses like Willow's Run Golf Complex, which offers two 18-hole courses, as well as golf clubs at Redmond Ridge. Outdoor recreation is a huge plus for folks here in Redmond wanting to live and thrive right in the city. So absolutely love it. The last pro I wanted to tell you about today is the overall quality of life you're going to have if you live in Redmond, Washington. So number one, it's rated among the safest cities in Washington on a consistent basis. So super low crime rates, making residents feel super safe. It also has incredible access to jobs, as I explained earlier, and an incredible education system within the Lake Washington School District. You'll have amazing outdoor recreation right in your back door, and even more intense and extreme outdoor recreation just 30 minutes away. Living here, you're also going to be able to enjoy a lot of cultural entertainment. This includes art galleries, theaters, and music venues, and there have been various festivals throughout the year which will not only help entertain you, but also foster community involvement. There's also incredible healthcare facilities right here in Redmond, so you don't have to go into Seattle to access incredible hospitals, clinics, and specialized medical centers. Furthermore, the proximity to Seattle is pretty excellent, being only about 20 minutes away without traffic. And you also have an incredible mall. It's called Redmond Town Center. In my other videos, you will kind of see what that looks like, but it is something you don't want to miss. There's cool theaters there, restaurants, shopping galore. It's a really nice mall and hosts a lot of community events throughout the year and can help entertain you and your family alike. And also Redmond borders Kirkland, like I mentioned. So in Kirkland, you've got beaches, trails, waterfront dining, and even more shopping and fun. Now, with every good thing, there are some bad things about Redmond, so I'll mention the cons of living in Redmond, Washington. One of the cons of living in Redmond, Washington is the cost of living. Just like neighboring cities of Kirkland and Bellevue and Issaquah, it's not cheap to live in Redmond, Washington. The median home price, remember, is $1,186,000, and that means its transportation, utilities, groceries, and other goods might cost a little bit more in Redmond, but these aren't way over the national average. So that's a good thing. The higher cost of living, especially in the housing market, is coupled with higher salaries for most residents. So I think it kind of offsets those higher prices. And just the quality of life. So I think the cost of living isn't going to completely deter you if you're able to afford a single family home or condo here in Redmond, Washington. The second con of living in Redmond is the traffic. So like lots of other suburbs around the metropolitan city of Seattle, we definitely have our fair share of traffic, especially during rush hour times. And this has gotten worse over the last couple of years as moving to Seattle and the area around it has grown in popularity tremendously. 520 is a state route that takes you from Bellevue to Seattle, which you'll need to access from Redmond through some side roads. And State Route 202 is another state route in the city, taking you to some nearby cities on the northern side. So Redmond Way and Avondale Road can also get backed up during those heavier traffic times, and that can cause some frustration in the city limits. But Metro buses serve the Redmond community, and this helps alleviate some of the traffic, and the Sound Transit Link Rail also comes to Redmond, which is a pretty big benefit and isn't seen in all the other suburbs like Issaquah. Expanding cities, construction, and development will definitely add wait times, but as long as you plan your routes ahead of time, it really shouldn't be a huge problem. The next con of living in Redmond, Washington is, of course, the weather. Okay, every suburb around Seattle, I tell this same story, right? So coming to the Northwest, it definitely has its cons with the weather for part of the year, which is, between October or November all the way up until March or April. It can definitely get pretty rainy and cloudy. Seattle experiences about 152 on average days of rain per year, but it's definitely not in the top rainy 10 cities in the country, rainiest. So that's good. What can be a little bit depressing is the amount of cloudy days. So that's going to be something you want to take into consideration. But I do know a lot of people that have a happy light that can help with those serotonin levels in the middle of those gloomier winter months. But thanks to global warming, I'm telling you, we have some of the most gorgeous summers and even falls here in the Pacific Northwest. If you can just get through the winter, I swear the rest of the year, you don't even remember what happened in the winter. Okay, as Pacific Northwesterners, we just kind of like black out for a few of the gloomy months. And we do get a little bit of snow, typically about 1 to 5 days a year in the Seattle area, which is definitely more than when I was growing up here. So it's actually kind of fun for the kids to have some snow, but it's not going to dominate a huge part of the winter, although drivers don't know how to go in the snow here, that's for sure. One great thing about the weather is we don't have any crazy weather pattern storms like tornadoes or hurricanes or wildfires. You're just not going to have that here. So we are along some pretty major tectonic plates in the Pacific Rim. So there could be an earthquake, but we haven't seen one in over 20 years. And even that wasn't very big. So I think there's some comfort there. The final con of living in Redmond, Washington is the limited nightlife. Because this is a suburban setting, it definitely is ideal for families and folks who would like to escape in a quieter, kind of slower neighborhood. Also, coupled with the fact that tech companies and professionals reside in Redmond, that might mean that they're not exactly looking for that late night urban scene. It also has restrictions in zoning and regulations, so that definitely is going to limit how many businesses can be going into the late wee hours of the day. So although it's not Seattle and isn't full of nightclubs and lounges, it does have a couple of theaters and several bars and fun restaurants for your family and friends to join together, and is also really close to Woodinville Winery, which is just north of Redmond, literally just a couple miles outside of Redmond. You're going to hit this winery. It's super fun. You can walk around. There's like over 100 wine places, I believe. It kind of reminds you of Napa or Sonoma Valley, but sort of Seattle style. Seattle's also just a 35-minute Uber away if you're not looking to drive, but you want to get to a city close by. And Kirkland is super duper close. I hope this video was of value today. And like I said, I would love to help you move to Seattle. Just hop on a Zoom call with me. We can look at your specific needs, figure out the type of community you'd want to move to, think about the amenities you're looking for and the affordability that you have. We can grab some coffee, wine, tea, whatever suits your fancy. Feel free to get in touch with me using the information in that description below. I hope you have an incredible day, and I hope to talk to you soon or see you around town. Take it easy.